Hello everybody, welcome to Short Shot Archery. Anthony here, and in this video, I have a notebook full of notes about the 2020 ATA show and my take on it, plus some feedback I've received from people at the show and people that would like to get into the show. Now, before we get started, I will have some clips playing of the ATA show. Nothing in particular I'm pointing out there. I'm just kind of giving you a walkthrough of the event as it was going on, just to change the mood up so you don't have to look at me the entire time. Other than that, I do want to thank anybody that I ran into at the show. It was a pleasure meeting each and every one of you. I personally was not expecting to run into a lot of fans of Short Shot Archery at the ATA show because it's manufacturers and it's a lot of like bow shops and stuff. And not that they don't watch my videos, which clearly they do, because there was a lot of people that were really excited to see me. But it just didn't cross my mind. I'm very used to seeing everybody at tournaments, and I was really surprised about how many people were there and recognized me from this YouTube channel. So just really want to say thank you. I really appreciate it, and hopefully you're enjoying all the content. So let's get started. Now, to start it off, I understand that the ATA trade show is, well, a trade show, and it's for getting sellers matched up with manufacturers, so that their dealers, so these archery shops can get the gear they need so that they can sell it throughout the year. And it's like a networking convention, and it's sales too at the same time. So my perspective as somebody that is from the press, it's probably a little bit different than some of the people that are here from manufacturers and from archery shops and dealers. But with that, I still think that the press perspective is still pretty valid, and I have some other things that are unpress related in here too for anybody who wants to to hear. So that's what this is going to be about. Number one, the press not being allowed in on the first day was tough for the press. It really put a lot of pressure on us, especially since we cover a lot of new releases of things, or some things get released at the ATA show exclusively, like they haven't been shown anywhere else. And it was tough to fit all that into basically a day and a half instead of 2.5 days, so I lost a complete full day of being able to check out things, check out equipment. I know last year when I did it, I basically spent the half of the last day just walking around, and I ran into some places that I wouldn't have checked out originally just because I happened to have the time. I got everything else finished, and I just walked around the show and then found new things and made videos with people and about products that I didn't originally intend on making videos on. For this show though, because of the tight time schedule, I was basically running all the way until the end of the show, and with weather coming, people were actually packing up early, it seemed like, on the last half day or 3/4 of a day, however you want to call it. People ended up kind of walking away from the booths, it seemed like. So it really turned into kind of like a day and a quarter of press related, filming people and their new products, instead of having a whole full day. With that though, overall I think the layout of the ATA show was great. I think the ATA always does a good job at that. And I can definitely tell little tweaks here and there with things, over the last couple of years, because I'm pretty sure I'm on year 3 or so of attending the ATA show. And I don't know, it seems to just always be consistently good in terms of layout and just how things are done in that aspect of organizing the whole show. So definitely a big thanks to them. Alright, now on to location. Now this is something I didn't have a problem with at the show in Louisville, Kentucky, or the first time I went here to the show in Indianapolis. But this time in Indianapolis I stayed at a different hotel, and man, parking on some of these hotels I didn't realize is super expensive. It was upwards of like $30+ a night just to park your car there, and it was just kind of like an automatic thing. And they were charging that every single day. It was nice having the hotel rooms connected. That's a major bonus, and it really lets you stay out of the weather. And you could even go to like other restaurants and stuff, and just kind of go through the maze and of connecting tunnels that connected all these different hotels and parking lots and stuff. Now, of course, that's not so much about the ATA as it is about my own personal choices, but it's kind of interesting in there. I felt like I was kind of treated when we went and had the ATA show in Louisville, Kentucky, because yes, you had to pay for parking, but it was cheap. I think it was $10 a day. I actually rented an Airbnb, and parking there was free, so I basically paid nothing compared to what I paid in Indianapolis for parking. So that was a big change that I wasn't really expecting. Now, next up is something that a lot of vendors and even like some people from shops were kind of bringing up. They feel like the last day of the show, that like half day basically, should be an open to the public part of the show. With pre-purchase tickets only, you only get to enter if you paid for tickets in advance, and just have that open. Maybe even have a limited amount of tickets. You can really control the flow of people going into this. But I can tell you there is numerous people that are really interested in seeing all the new gear and things at the ATA show, because there's not really another venue like it. Like, yes, you can go to the Vegas shoot, yes, you can go to the Classic, and there is vendors there, but there's not the amount of vendors, and it's also, yes, slightly later in time, so the word has already been out. A lot of these people want to see the new stuff right away, and they don't necessarily want to buy it. Like, they want to see what's going on, and then they want to make their decision later down the road to buy that new gear from their distributor or archery reseller of choice. I could see how something like this could be really popular down the road. I know for the last I know personally every year that I go, I have people ask me, oh, how do you get into this? Did I have a public day? And I'm like, no, they don't. No, I go in as press, because Short Shot Archery does press, and that is what we cover. So you cannot go in as an individual person, and a lot of people are bummed by that, and I think it's stunting in a way of some of the growth of the archery industry, because you have other events for other types of things. If it's like computers or video games, computers again, or even like auto industry stuff. There's always events that are designed for the public, and it's something the public can participate in. They can pay to go to, and I don't see why archery shouldn't get into that to a degree. I know it's the least important part of this event from a retailer or a manufacturer's perspective, but it's still important, because those people are eventually going to be the ones that buy from your local shops or your regional distributors or whatever, that end up buying the products that you, the manufacturer, are creating. So you can spur more interest in it by having these people willing to pay to check out products and like hold them in their hand and check them out at your booth. I don't see why it wouldn't be worth adding that into the ATA show. Even if you kept it down to maybe like 500 people and you make tickets $25 a person or something. I don't know, just some food for thought. I know it was brought up to me by a lot of individuals, a ton of individual people that would love to go. And then it was also brought up to me by manufacturers and people that actually sell equipment, on how they thought it was a good idea for this to happen. Because, well, all the other industries that are 10, 15, 20, 100 times the size of archery seem to do it, and it's only helped their growth. as an industry, and these people are looking forward to seeing archery grow even more from where it is now, and they're just trying to come up with ways to do it. So with that pretty much wraps up my little review of ATA Show 2020. I think overall it's a great show. I really appreciate what the ATA is doing, but I figured it was worth putting a video together and sharing my experiences and things I've heard that people want to see, changed, or just ideas they're throwing around out there to see, hey, will this contribute to our sport in a positive manner to help grow it and propel it into the next decade and eventually the next century. So with that, if you're interested in a Short Shot Archery shirt, be sure to check out the Short Shot Archery website, link down below. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and as always, happy shooting.